In the second personal story segment tonight, Donald Trump wooing Republicans. Today in Washington, Trump met with some Republican big shots, including congresspeople. Newt Gingrich was there in the meeting. Joins us from the capital city. So, it's an off-the-record meeting, and you guys get together, but we want to know, the tone of it. But before I get to that, Trump spoke to AIPAC early this evening, the conservative group down there, and now he seems to be trying to reach out, as they say, and embrace more people. Would that be wrong? That's what it looks like he's doing.
No. Look, I think Trump is now proven that he's a very, very serious candidate, that he's clearly the front runner. And I think he's beginning to realize that that means you've got to reach out and you've got to broaden your base of activity. And that's part of why he was here today. I think the speech at AIPAC was a significant step by him. He's also, I think, going to be taking some other steps that are designed to say, particularly to conservatives, look, you can rely on me. Here are some indications of how serious I am. And he's assembling a team. He talked to the Washington Post today about foreign policy advisors, released 6 names of pretty substantive people who would be widely recognized as having real experience. And I think the tone in the meeting I was in, that Callista and I went to as old friends, and there were a number of people there who've endorsed him. There are other people who are just interested in learning what's going on. But the tone was practical, workmanlike. This is the Donald Trump who knows how to sit down with bankers and knows how to sit down with people who are interested in large deals.
He was trying to seduce you guys. He was trying to make you believe that he has the right stuff to be president. That's what they all do. But
isn't that the job of a presidential candidate?
What?
Isn't that the job of a presidential candidate?
I don't know. I'm not your world. I mean, my world is I just, tell the truth and as I see it and try to solve problems. Trump has run a generalist campaign, not a specific campaign.
Right.
And the general themes have put him in a position to win the nomination. And I think that was a very smart thing to do. He caught the wave of anger. He saw what was happening. He did it better than anybody else by far. In the meeting that you attended today, was he still a generalist, or did he come in like I did with the Talking Points memo tonight with solutions to 3 very complex problems?
I think it would be more accurate to say he came in and said, here's where we are, here's what we're doing, and then he actually listened very intently. You had some 20 people in that room who were quite substantive people who were talking to him about specific ideas, specific suggestions, and he clearly was paying attention. He is a much better listener in that kind of a setting than people who just see him on the stage would think. And I think he was trying to absorb. The number one message is really simple. You cannot be an effective president unless you find some way to get things to work in Washington. Jimmy Carter tried it. It doesn't work. You can't be a pure outsider. And I think that Trump came in having learned from Obama's failures, and I would not be at all surprised to see him come back a number of times this spring to meet with a wide range of people to begin to find a way to accommodate each other and to work together. He has very big, bold ideas, but getting them done is going to take very practical work with members of the Congress.
Now, did you give him any advice?
None that I'm going to share with you, Bill. Come on.
I didn't ask you to share it with me. I know you're not a sharing kind of guy. Did you give him any advice?
Well, look, Trump is an old friend for both Callista and me, and we've talked with him for a long time. But I always remind people, I'm very close to John Kasich. I talk regularly with Cruz. I was there today as somebody who really cares about the country and the Republican Party, and I want to find a way that the nominee is able to bridge and really build a team. I think Trump has that potential.
All right, so I'm going to assume like Rudy Giuliani, that occasionally you have a conversation with Trump and you offer him some advice. I mean, I've asked you for advice.
Sure.
Politically, I talked to you on the phone and I said, look, here's the complexity, how you cut through it. So that would just make sense that you would do that.
Sure.
So I assume you did it.
Yeah, look, I think anybody who has the guts to run for president ought to have the right to call on virtually any citizen and say, what do you think? How'd you do it differently? But I'll tell you something that may surprise you. I would never presume to give Donald Trump strategic advice because his instincts are so much different than mine. This guy has been unbelievably successful since June 16th when he announced. He does it in a way I can't understand. He does it out of a pure intuition. He's not surrounded by pollsters and consultants and all that stuff.
He
This
does
is
it by
just
gut.
his read.
Yeah, he goes by gut. All right, Mr. Speaker, we appreciate it. Thanks
Good
for
to see you.
sharing.